Ooh, hot. Hey. I just made chocolate chip cookies fresh out of the oven. Look at how amazing they look.
Do I smell cookies?
Yes, you do.
Oh, don't mind if I...
No, I just pulled them out of the oven and they are stinking hot.
Oh, come on. What's the worst that'll happen if I have one?
You're gonna burn your mouth if you have one right now. You have to wait.
I can suffer through any pain.
No, Ethan, have patience and wait. Trust me, it'll be worth it.
Fine.
Well, let me go put these down and change and we'll come back for the lesson. Hey Bonta Vista Baptist kids, welcome back. Have you ever been having such a fun day that time seems to go by really fast? Like you're hanging out with your friends and having an amazing time, and then suddenly time just flies by. Or if you aren't having a fun day and time seems to drag on. Both have happened to me. But time doesn't actually go faster or slower. It can definitely feel like that, especially when you're waiting for something you want. Do you remember what patience is? Patience is waiting until later for what you want now. This morning, I baked chocolate chip cookies. And like always, Ethan was a little impatient and he wanted his cookie now. But they had just come out of the oven and they were way too hot. Now, he has to have patience as he waits for them to cool so he doesn't burn himself. Sometimes it's hard to have patience and wait for things you want. And sometimes we forget that there's consequences for not waiting. Like Ethan burning himself from eating a cookie that's way too hot. In our story today, some Israelites were finding it hard to wait, and they forgot God's goodness, and they ended up breaking the first 2 commandments, which are some pretty important ones too. They didn't have patience, and they did something that they're gonna regret, even though they knew better.
Sometimes it's hard to wait for all the things that I want. Sometimes I kinda feel like it's just taking too long to get the things I want, what I think I need, but I know you know what's best for me. I'm gonna live what I believe. I'm gonna wait 'cause I know you're still working. I'm gonna have patience 'cause it'll be worth it. I'm gonna have faith, I know you have a purpose. I'm gonna wait 'cause I know you're still working on me. Still working on me. I know that sometimes I just need to slow down and trust that you are working all of this out. You know the things I want, what I think I need, but I know you know what's best for me. I'm gonna live what I believe. I'm gonna wait 'cause I know you're still working. I'm gonna have patience 'cause it'll be worth it. I'm gonna have faith, I know you have a purpose. I'm gonna wait 'cause I know you're still working on me. Still working on me. I'm gonna hold up, slow down. I'm gonna trust that you're working it out. I'm gonna hold up, slow down. I'm gonna trust that you're working it out. I'm gonna hold up, slow down. I'm gonna trust that you're working it out. I'm gonna hold up, slow down. I'm gonna trust that you're working it out. I'm gonna wait 'cause I know you're still working. I'm gonna have patience 'cause it'll be worth it. I'm gonna have faith, I know you have a purpose. I'm gonna wait 'cause I know you're still working on me. Still working on me. Still working on me.
The Bible. It's 66 books of history, stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how He created us and loves us so much that He made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. Now, for an amazing story inspired by the book of Exodus, chapter 32, verses 1 through 35.
For hundreds of years, God's people lived as slaves in Egypt. They cried out to God, and God rescued them. He led them through the midst of the Red Sea to freedom in the wilderness. And that's where He showed His love and care by providing bread from heaven and water from solid rock. 3 months later, God led His people to Mount Sinai, where they camped at the foot of the mountain in the desert. Moses was called to by God from the mountain.
Say to my people, the Israelites, you have seen for yourselves what I did to Egypt. You saw how I carried you on the wings of eagles and brought you to myself. Now obey me completely. If you do, then out of all the nations, you will be my special treasure.
Moses shared God's word with the people.
We will do everything the Lord has said.
God called Moses to meet with Him on the mountaintop. Moses spoke to the elders of the Israelites before he left.
Wait here until I come back. My brother Aaron and Hur will stay with you. Anyone who has a problem can go to them.
Don't sweat it. We got this.
No one can come up. The mountain is holy.
Noted.
I'll see you soon-ish.
Have fun storming the mountain.
As Moses and his assistant Joshua began to climb the steep slopes, the glory of God settled on Mount Sinai like thick cloud and burning fire.
I will give you stone tablets. They contain the law and commandments I have written to teach the people.
Moses stayed within the cloud on top of Mount Sinai, talking with God for 40 days and nights. Meanwhile, back at the camp, the Israelites were growing restless.
I'm so, over this desert camping thing.
That Moses seems kinda unreliable to me.
Yeah, what if he's making up all the God stuff? You know, besides the cloud and the Red Sea and food from heaven and all that.
He's certainly taking long enough. Hey, Aaron, where's your brother?
Aaron shrugged and pointed to the cloud that hovered over the mountain.
You know as much as I do.
We need someone to really take charge.
A God we can see, a God who will lead us.
Keep talking, bro.
Moses may have brought us out of Egypt, but he's just disappeared. Poof. What are you gonna do, Aaron?
Aaron was tired of the people's complaining, so he buckled under pressure.
Give me all your gold jewelry.
Aaron took all the gold the people brought him and melted it down. Then he shaped it into the form of a golden calf.
Israel, here is your God who brought you out of Egypt.
It's so shiny.
Well, when Aaron saw how excited the people were, he built an altar in front of the calf.
Tomorrow will be a feast day.
So all the next day, the Israelites brought sacrifices to honor a golden calf made out of their own jewelry. The people ate, drank, and danced wildly in front of the statue.
Who wants to walk like an Egyptian? Huh?
Not me. We just got out of there. Thanks to this amazing calf.
Back on the mountain, in the midst of the cloud, God spoke to Moses.
Go down. Your people you brought up out of Egypt have become very sinful. They have turned away from what I commanded.
Heartbroken, Moses and Joshua made their way back down the mountain. Moses carried 2 heavy stone tablets covered with the laws God had given. The 2 men stopped in their tracks.
Wait, is that the sound of war? It's not the sound of winning or losing. That's singing.
Moses and Joshua picked up their pace, scrambling down the mountainside. As they approached the camp, Moses saw the golden calf. Dazzling in the sunlight, the Israelites danced wildly around it.
Inconceivable!
Moses was so angry, he took the stone tablets and hurled them to the ground.
Stop! Stop this at once!
The music and dancing stopped. Moses marched right through the crowd, right up to the golden calf. Aaron tried to sheepishly duck away, but Moses spotted him at once.
What did these people do to you? How did they make you lead them into such terrible sin?
Okay, don't be angry. You know how these people are. They said, make us a god to lead us. And then they gave me their gold jewelry. And I threw it into the fire, and out came this calf.
Aaron couldn't look his brother in the eye. They both knew the true story.
Why didn't you wait for me? The people are running wild. We've become a joke to our enemies.
Moses toppled the golden calf into the fire to burn. Then he ground the golden calf into a fine powder and scattered it on the water.
Drink it, all of you.
This is hard to drink.
Oh, my stomach feels downright awful.
God helped his people over and over, but when they had to wait, they forgot his goodness. They chose their own way, and the consequences weren't so golden.
Yes, she's gone. Now I can have as many cookies as I want. Ow, ow, ow. Hey, you guys didn't happen to see any of that, did you? Okay, good, because I definitely was not trying to sneak a cookie. Okay, fine, I was, but how can I resist? They look so good, and even when I leave the room, I can still smell them. I know today's lesson is all about making wise decisions while you wait, but seriously, what's the worst that could happen if I just had one, just one, right now, other than burning my mouth? I'm not doing anything nearly as bad as the Israelites did. Although I guess now that I think about it, I wouldn't be being sinful. Kira did tell me not to have any until she said they were ready. Actually, now that I think about it, I was not doing anything nearly as bad as the Israelites, but I was still making a bad decision. Which ties back into our lesson today. We gotta learn to have patience, otherwise we can get ourselves into serious trouble. The Israelites got themselves in trouble with God, and I almost got myself into trouble with Kira, which can be just as scary. Oh, hi.
Hey.
I was just patiently waiting for the cookies to cool.
Oh, yeah, right. You can have one now if you want.
Wait, really? That didn't take very long. Oh my goodness. That was so worth the wait.